It's time for Inside the Patch with your Las Vegas Raiders. Here's Gnarley Charley.
Well, it's welcome back to Inside the Patch, ESPN 1430, your Valley local sports leader. Brought to you by Fresno Rack and Shelving. Nice rack. Mitch Adams, it is episode 18, which means it is game 18 for the Las Vegas Raiders this week.
Week 18, game 17.
Game 17, week 18. Yeah, we did have
Yeah.
We're playing the Denver Broncos, and I don't know, man. Since we're out of it, I've kind of quit looking at everything right now. I kind of know,
It is tough because we were in yet another game until the final moments.
Yeah.
And then I see something today on the internet, and Jack Jones wasn't offsides.
I know.
He left at the same time as the ball.
Right. But
Missed field goal. Can
you challenge that though? I don't know if you can.
I don't know. But it's just a shame that the refereeing or the officiating was so bad this week, and there was another game that it was really bad.
Oh wait, I didn't declare I was eligible to be on the show today. I got to declare. I got to make sure they know. But did you hear about the Detroit game that they were trying to throw them off?
Right.
Yes, they were trying to be tricky.
Yeah, they were trying to be tricky. They ran number 70 in, I think, twice earlier in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to the referee, I'm eligible. Boom. The next time, 68 went to the ref. 70, meanwhile, is running in. He never made it to the everyone's seen the video.
Right.
So, yeah, they were trying to be a bit sneaky by running, because there was two people in front of the ref at that point, and number 70 hadn't yet made it to him. So, yeah, they were trying to be a little tricky. However, all above board. And they went over every element, and that ref. And if he just came out and said, you know what, I blew it, I think people would respect him more rather than not saying anything.
Right.
I stand by what I called. You messed up.
I was at a buddy's house. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan. And so I go, if they lose this game, this evening's over. We got to get out of here. And if they lose, right? So I go to the restroom, and I'm like, let's get out of here. I come out, and they're celebrating. I go, what happened? I was just in the bathroom, and they won.
I almost did the same thing. The dog needed to be walked. And I'm at the front door, leaning over, looking at the TV. I see the touchdown. And my son said, what happened? I said, Detroit just won. I walked the dog for 10 or 15 minutes. I come back, and I'm like, what happened? So now, thank God, no one had changed the channel, so I got to rewind it and watch it. Oh, my God.
And how up and down that was. That was crazy.
Yeah. And I just wish officiating, there's got to be another way, like the big eye in the sky that could come in and say, you know what, that was wrong. Let's run it again. I like
when they get it right. I like when they correct it and get it right.
Yeah.
Even if it's not our favorite, I
mean, basketball is proving that they will stop a game in the middle of a game and just break it down. Sometimes it seems like forever just to make a call, but they want to get it right. And football needs to take a page from basketball and get it right. I mean, baseball, probably the best officiating of the major sports, but they get it wrong sometimes. Like when that guy blew the perfect game.
Yeah.
How come they couldn't go back and say, you know what, I made a mistake, he's out? How come they couldn't do that? I don't know.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, here we are. The Raiders got their last game of the season. We are not going to go to the playoffs, barring 5 plane crashes. No, we're out. We're done. It's not happening. The season's over as far as that.
Yeah.
But like you and I have said all year, I thought our season was over week 3.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't this time of year, normally you're feeling pretty bad when the team doesn't make the playoffs. And we've had a lot of experience with that over the last 20 years with just one appearance. And this season doesn't feel like that. It feels like we found something. And too bad we didn't find it 4 or 5 weeks earlier.
Right. I agree with you.
It could be different.
For what it is, I don't feel sick to my stomach horrible like I did the first 4 weeks of the season.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
so
like,
here we are.
That play? I mean, I was shocked to learn a few weeks ago that we are leading the league with the least amount of penalties.
Yeah.
What? The Raiders?
Who, us?
The least penalized team in the NFL?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
I didn't know that.
It was definitely an attitude change. It was a different team. It really was a different team, a tale of two teams. And man, I feel good about our team now. If we could add that team from the beginning, who knows?
Who knows? And depending upon what happens at quarterback, either Aiden O'Connell steps up and take some sprinting classes over the off season. You'll have the best tutelage out there because he's a professional now and he can afford it.
Well, I think Aiden is a good quarterback. I don't know if he's ready to be full-time starter. Man, he showed poise. He showed, a little lack of experience in trying to force throws in sometimes, but
go back to that first Charger game in Los Angeles where he got sacked with six by Khalil Mack alone, and I think 7 total, maybe 8.
Yeah,
and he was out of his step. He's come a long way since then.
Yeah,
he's gone up against some pretty good defenses, and they've sacked him, but he has not been that bad. But he's good between the 20 and the 20.
Right.
We need him good from the 20 to the goal line or into the back of the end zone. And
I did feel like a few times he was going to Devontae, even if it was there.
Yeah.
A little too much. Where I felt like before, like even with Carr and stuff, he moved the ball around more. And you really need that in this,
Well, we miss Michael Mayer being that big presence. I mean, Hooper, as well as he can catch, doesn't block that well, and he's not a huge target like Michael Mayer. And he missed that. He missed that safety valve. And then I thought Renfro was a DNP, and all of a sudden he pops up in the second half. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know what's going on with Renfro. You go from 103 catches 2 years ago to 35 last year to whatever he got or has this year.
I think he's got a little Josh McDaniel hangover still. Josh didn't like him for whatever reason.
The invisible man. I mean, this is a guy that was a weapon. Yeah. A serious weapon just 2 years ago. You don't get named
third in Renfro if you're not third in Renfro, Come on, that was his name.
So what happens even under this new head coach? Why isn't he on the field more?
I don't know. There's so many unanswered questions. Now we go into this Denver game. Some people are playing for their future. I mean, you're always going to play hard, but it's different now. And did Antonio Pierce do enough to be asked to be the head coach? That's the big question. Did he do enough?
From a fan standpoint, I think he has. I mean, the body language, the spirit, just just that will to win. Those guys looked like they were out there wanting it week after week after he took over. You haven't really seen a letdown in the team. They've been fighting till the end. Under McDaniels, I don't know if I could say that. Maybe early in the season because the season was young, but as the season wore on, guys were like they do on TNT going fishing at the end of the basketball season when they showed people bounce out of the playoffs. Yeah. It looked like the Raiders were looking to go fishing. I mean,
they were not.
They weren't there.
Well, Peterson was just like, I'm not tackling. I ain't getting hurt. I don't care. I like the signing of him. I like that whole thing, but I think he hated McDaniels, and it's like, I'm a veteran. I don't need this. To a fault,
He's a veteran, and he didn't need that. However, in some sports and with some guys, you get old overnight, and it just looked like he got old overnight. I was happy when they signed him as well, but tell you this, Jack Jones, if you can keep his head in the game and keep him motivated, and I think AP does that for him, you find a veteran corner on that other side, big name. I think we got something going, man. I think we're a couple pieces away on defense, although our defense has stepped up top 10 since AP took over, and it's just amazing to see the stats on this defense. And so that was our Achilles heel. Our defense was porous.
And I think if Carr was serviceable enough to where we'd have this defense, we could have gone deep in the playoffs,
Yeah.
Because Carr could get us 20, 30 points,
Yeah.
And Josh Jacobs not being hurt, although I like why I don't know if Josh Jacobs will be on a team next year just because of financing,
I hate to say it, but probably not, unless he backs down off of what he thinks he's worth. And because quarterback's worth in this league now is nothing. Running backs. Their worth seems like it's nothing. No running backs are getting big contracts, and it feels like collusion by the owners. Like, let's not pay them.
I know.
They get hurt too frequently.
And part of the thing too, think about this: Jacobs missed most of the preseason, so we got a fresh Jacobs, sort of. Kind of started slow, but then when you run like him, you're going to get hurt. He's a hard runner.
He started slow in someone else's offense.
Yeah.
McDaniels didn't seem to be, maybe he was imaginative, but he was imagining maybe different players that were out there executing. He was a weird fit for this team. And maybe he will do well if he gets a third opportunity in New England, because that's probably the only place where he can thrive.
Well, I don't even know if Belichick's going to be there.
No, that's what I mean. If Belichick is released, then maybe he's the answer to follow up behind him. But anywhere else, trying to bring that program elsewhere, it hasn't worked. It didn't work in Denver, and it didn't work in Las Vegas. And so, his offense is what Jacobs. Well, he thrived in it last year, but when he came in this year, it's like, dude, the guy was averaging like 2 yards a carry. It was sad. And all of a sudden he started breaking off runs after AP took over when they opened up the offense a little bit. Even with an Aiden O'Connell at quarterback, where defenses are playing up a bit, to stop
I
the run.
remember when we had Darren McFadden, there was like a few years there where he was just like, 10 yards here, boom. He was just running down, and I was really sad we got rid of him, but they had, that's the way the game works. And with Josh Jacobs, I'll be really sad to see him go, because I know he's still got it.
I will too, because he's a lot left in the tank.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we'll have to face him at some point, and he'll take it out on us.
Yeah, exactly. Remember this? Well, here you go.
There was a defensive back, and they were asking, who do you not like to tackle? He says, I don't like to tackle Josh Jacobs. He said, that guy runs with every part of his body. He said, have you seen his arms, the way he runs with his arms? Remember Otis Anderson? The way
yeah.
And with the Giants, and he would come in with that sledgehammer right before the tackle and knock the crap out of
you're gonna get
defenders.
Hurt. You're gonna get hurt tackling him. I mean, and but we still don't know. We don't know, and I don't know how much if they. Well, I think about this: if they do not go with Antonio Pierce, I don't know if they move him back to linebacker coach and he stays. Or I don't know.
How often have you seen an interim coach stay, especially in the NFL, stay on as a coach? You've seen it in basketball. They'll go back to the bench.
Yeah.
Little different dynamic there. Football, I think most guys, 90-something% of them leave. And I don't know why that happens, but the interim coach from one year to the next, if he doesn't get the job, it's never there.
Well, so then I think, okay, let's say we do not take Antonio Pierce. Well, then we're kind of back to new guy, got to motivate the team, got to win the team over. It's almost a mini rebuild, you know?
Yeah, it is. And then you start from zero again.
Here's my new coaches. Here's my new plan. Here's the new this. This is what we do now on game day. This is how, you know, it's a change, a big change.
Well, obviously the name Harbaugh has been bound around, but in my opinion, that's just talk right now. I mean, he has one game left for the national championship coming up Monday. And how could he be, you know, someone you're looking at, and he's just on the cusp of winning a national championship? Because if he wins, I doubt he's available, even through all of the stuff he went through this year, getting suspended and what have you. But how do you get rid of a national?
I don't know if he
get
past Washington, so maybe it's not going to happen. I don't know. You know, I mean, they look pretty good.
Those were good games. We had some good games on.
You know, as a Fresno guy, see, the Washington coach used to be the Fresno State coach, and they stole our players, and then he went back. So it was kind of there was a big Fresno tie. Like the coach and 7 of his coaches all coached at Fresno State one year. And then they took our quarterback, but then he came back. But anyway, that's a crazy time. You know?
The transfer portal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I'm happy that college players get a chance to move about and that there's NIL money and guys can actually capitalize on what they've done on the field.
And that's a new frontier, man. They don't even know how that works and how they, you know, what's the right amount.
They don't know how it works.
It's all over the place.
You know, Caleb Williams, who could be, you know, he could slip. I don't know. Who knows? He could be a Raider next year. He did say he likes the Las Vegas team. That guy was making 8 figures or has made 8 figures. Right. I think Deion Sanders' boys, or at least Shador, is making close to 8 figures.
They are not having a top ramen college experience. I'll tell you that right now. You know, it's a whole different thing.
It really is. And then you look, and I hate to bring him up, but you look at a quarterback that's down the peninsula there in Santa Clara. He's only making $800,000. I
know.
And that's what he'll make next year as well, because they can't renegotiate his he can't get a new contract until after the 2024 season.
But he still gets the Mr. Irrelevant parade, so he gets that going for him, which is nice.
Not a whole lot of money going in his pocket, other than I've seen him in a number of endorsement commercials locally. So.
All right, well, so here's the deal. Do not shoot the messenger. This is not my message, and I don't even actually want this to happen. Here's what I heard. There is a chance Russell Wilson will be the quarterback of your Las Vegas Raiders. And I'm like, why would we want that? Why? Well, if the Broncos trade him, we could pay him the league minimum, and that means the Broncos would pay majority of his salary. Now, is Russell Wilson, could he just switch him with Aiden O'Connell? Would it have made a difference? You know? Could it have made a difference? I think so.
Absolutely.
And I'm not a Russell Wilson
So we win the Minnesota game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It changes everything. It's a veteran.
We probably went last week.
Yeah, with his veteran experience, he's good for 14 points minimum or more. You know.
So bring him in as a teacher to Aiden, or just let Aiden walk as well.
Well, I think realistically what I heard is they're probably going to cut him. He's in the same position as Carr, to the fact that they're going to not let him play the last 2 games, and Stedham's going to play for him, just like Carr. So, it's exactly like Carr. And so Russell's not going to play this week.
Oh, no, he's not playing.
No.
That's a shame that he's been put in this position by a head coach coming in, and the head coach came in, Sean Payton, from day one, as if he had an axe to grind with Russell.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a little more about this too. Think about this. Russell kind of wants to be slipped. He's married to a celebrity. Vegas is a celebrity town. Vegas does not have as much taxes as other places. There's reasons for him to take less and come to Vegas. You know, his last couple of years, why not? I'm not saying this is what I want. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you. That's what I heard.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
I think I could be okay with that. Now, does he throw a deep ball?
I don't know, but remember he used to Fran Tarkington around. He used to be able to go 25.
That's another thing. Yeah. He would certainly keep drives alive.
He was turning 2 before Mahomes was. You know, he was like a shortstop out there.
Yeah.
Flicking this way. Yeah.
Man.
You know what I mean? But yes, he's older. He's not the same Russell Wilson as a long time ago, but it might work in what we're trying to do.
Yeah. I've also heard that, well, there's a number of people that say the Raiders should put their eyes on Justin Fields.
Yep, I heard that too.
You know, the legs would keep plays alive. Does he throw better than O'Connell? I don't know.
It's a different style.
There's a world of possibilities that we have in front of us that are going to happen, but I do know that we need to address the offensive line. Yeah. And we need to address, I guess, a slot receiver, since I think Renfro will probably be gone. Another dynamic defensive line player, middle or end. Although Kuntz has come on, and so maybe that's his job now.
Right.
And a linebacker, sideline to sideline.
I would like to just go line for first pick. Get a lineman. Get a good lineman.
Yeah. Because when they went back and showed all of the picks, DJ Hayden, guys like that, it's like, where are they now?
Yep.
And a lot of them are out of football. I mean, blown picks, man. We took things that made people almost like, who was the guy? Denarius Hayward-Bay?
Yeah. Yeah.
A first round pick because he was fast? Come on, Al. This isn't the old days. And so if you go back and look at our picks over the last 20 years, maybe 3 guys did something. It's a shame.
You know, my last name is Fitzgerald, and we passed on Fitzgerald, Larry Fitzgerald, for Robert Gallery. I was like, we'd have Larry Fitzgerald. Come on, man.
And what kind of career did he have?
Oh, yeah. I think he's still playing if he wanted to. He's just a good dude, just
a great guy. I mean, Gallery wasn't bad.
Right.
Fitzgerald. Ooh.
And then you can't compare the two.
No, you can't.
No,
Hall of Famer
Undertaker. He's a big lineman guy. And then picking a lineman, I hate it because it's not pretty. It's like, look at this block. And they show his highlight reel. They circle him. Look at that. He really kept that guy out.
Well, I was looking on the other side of the ball. The guy, and I can't even think of his name, but the guy that came out of Georgia, one of the top picks, and I saw him. He's with Philadelphia.
Oh, Farrell? No.
Is that his name? This guy, as a defensive tackle, is a disruptor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, and see, that's the kind of push we need up that middle, because right now, everything for us is coming from the end, and the tackles are getting in. And if we can get them to bend that offensive line so that the ends could come in, oh my God!
Could you imagine?
Crosby is going to
someone jam in the middle, and then Crosby cleaning up on the outside. Oh, it's over.
What did Crosby call everybody? A little ass boy.
Yeah.
And so Minshew was on the sideline like, that guy's so angry.
He's just angry.
Angry. And they said, he's really not. He just plays hard.
He goes, I see why people don't like me. When I'm on the field, I'm in another zone,
But now he wreaked havoc with very little help on that defensive line this year. You put someone in the middle to get that push up the middle, to flush the quarterback out.
Because they'll start like getting 3 guy hits on it. You know, they can take Crosby out of the game if they need to, but
they've tried.
I would say that last game, the Colts. He wasn't as they were prepared for him. They were hitting him like 3 times. You know,
he made a lot of plays still.
No, still yes.
Yeah,
and with a hurt knee, he's getting sacks. He's our guy. He's our best player by far. I think.
Yeah, and you throw somebody back there with Splain and Diablo and another linebacker that can play fast and reckless, will be something to contend with.
Well, and I think Splain stepped up this year to match Crosby's. You know, it kind of sets the tone for everybody.
But that's what Kuntz did as well.
Yeah. It's like the whole defense said, "Okay, we'll follow you. We're doing this."
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the stats, some of the stats from our defensive ratings, it's like, what the turnaround since AP took over is amazing. And these guys are playing fast and free and just like unbridled. They're just going for it. And how many hats are being put on the ball?
Yeah.
When they're making tackles. Although
they're all over it. They're all over it though. Yeah. Swarming to it.
Yeah. And remember when Willie Shaw was the defensive coordinator back around 2000, 2001, 2002? That defense the Raiders had then, man, I mean, it was like 11 hats to the ball every play.
Right.
And they were just everybody, heat-seeking missiles. And if we get back to that, I think we have about 8 pieces on that defense that should stay around.
So
add in 3.
If you get a vote, Mitch, how would you vote for coach? Well, are you saying stay the way we are? Stay the way we are. Yeah, me too.
I mean, we've had too many changes with this team in the last 20 years. In the last few years, go to Vegas with Gruden, Bisaccia, Daniels, now AP. I mean, we're only talking a 3-year span.
Right.
You have to have some sort of continuity in order to start winning. You can't have constant change every year. And I'm tired of the change. And whether AP is the answer or not, I think you have to go with them because the players are responding to them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. I mean, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
He brought in Tom Coughlin, his former coach. Marvin Lewis is a consultant with the team, so he's helping. Herman Edwards has helped.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think I said it last week. He knows what he doesn't know, so he's bringing in those who do know to help him. And I know next year he'll be so much better prepared to lead this team if given the opportunity, because he's smart enough to bring in coaches to help him or those around the league to help him.
If they don't pick AP, I have a feeling we're going to be a nation divided again. It's going to be a mutiny. It's going to be that, and a Raider nation divided isn't a fun thing to be a part of.
We'll take Harbaugh off the table.
Yeah.
So now who is there?
Deion Sanders. Can you imagine? See, I'm before that.
Vegas. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, there it is. I could go for that.
I know. See, I'm like, there's some things we don't know. Shoot.
Deion
Brady.
He has more to prove in Boulder.
Brady, offensive coordinator.
I don't know. I don't know if Brady. See, I don't know if Brady has the patience for that. It might be like, you know what? Give me a helmet.
Not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing.
Oh, maybe it is now. I don't know.
Who knows?
Well, we got Denver this week, and it matters, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter,
Well, they definitely need to finish strong. They need to finish this thing out as if they're playing for something. And what they're playing for is AP's job, being bumped from interim to permanent head coach.
I think Aiden, if he's going to play, he gets a chance to. Maybe I can start scoring some points because right now I don't see him as a touchdown scorer.
That's tough because in order to win, you have to go through pitfalls and like with any team, to be a great team, you've had some struggles early on. Nobody just comes out of the blue and says, okay, I'm here. You've gone through some struggles. And once you learn how to win, that's one thing. Aiden needs to learn how to score inside the red zone because obviously the field is condensed. Everything is tighter. He needs to make better decisions. And he's young, and he'll get there. But once it happens, then the floodgates will open. So we'll see. I
agree, man.
I kind of like the kid.
I do too. I think choking up.
He's a little slow of foot. That's why I mentioned sprinting classes over the off season. And because if I were him, I would find a sprinting coach. I would find a way to move a little bit better back there, or maybe drop a few pounds. Who knows? But
I would work on his rotation. And if there only was a basketball training device that would work, that could show him the perfect rotation, that might make a difference.
Oh, this would make a difference in his life, all right. And if he used promo code Raiders, he would get 30% off of this ball that would help him not only shoot better, but be more elusive in the pocket.
But that's only if they go to perfectrotation.com. They would have to do that too. And that's how that works.
Perfectrotation.com. And you too could have a training device to give you a perfect rotation on your shot. And it'll make you faster.
I like it. I think it will. You don't have any proof that it doesn't. So I'll tell you that right now. Mitch Adams, thank you so much. Let's beat the Broncos, man. Okay? Let's do that.
We have to. This is for AP's job. These guys are going to win big this week. Guaranteed. Go to Vegas, watch the game, and place a bet.
I like it.
Because it's for their coach.
And don't save a horse and ride a cowboy. Let's get that horse. I think throat's a horse. We'll see you next week for Inside the Patch. Thanks, Mitch.
We'll be back with more Inside the Patch on 1430 ESPN, your official home of the Las Vegas Raiders.